Mrs. Thatcher's War. The Falklands, 1982. Vassal Module, Playthrough Turn 1. Prototype version. Art and rules not final. This is how the strategic map, to the left, and the tactical map, to the right, look like in the Vassal module, at the start of the game. First, you need to determine how many Exocet missiles the Argentine side has available. You do so by rolling a die. In this case, I rolled a 6. So Argentina starts with 5 Exocet missiles. Note, the turn track also serves to keep count of the remaining Exocet missiles. The first step in the turn is to roll 2 dice, and determine the current turn's weather. Crossing the roll of 7, with the weather table for turns 1 to 7, the result is rain and snow. So the weather marker is placed in the rain and snow spot accordingly. As the game turn marker moves to the first turn, it reaches the Special Air Service Forces counter. We will use them to raid the Picari unit, in the Pebble Island airstrip. That is threatening the landing zone. The roll is a 5, meaning the attack has failed. A new roll determines the SAS unit will take 4 turns to recover. So we place them in space 5 on the turn track. Now, on to the air groups phase. There are still some of them in the Argentine mainland. We roll 2 dice to place them, getting a 5 and a 2. One air group goes into Puerto Deseado, and the other one goes into Rio Gallegos. It's the beginning of the task force phase, but Argentine warships are still on the mainland. The Royal Navy is deployed to face the Argentine air groups. The carrier HMS Invincible with an escort will face the Rio Grande group. The carrier HMS Hermes with an escort will face the air groups at Rio Gallegos. HMS Invincible starts the engagement against Air Group 1. The roll is an 8, meaning the group retreats under British anti-aircraft fire. The air group returns to the mainland, the ship goes to the loitering area, and the BBC marker advances 2 spaces. Now the HMS Hermes will engage Air Group 2. The roll is a 4, meaning one of the carrier escorts was damaged by a bomb hit. As a result, the ship goes to the loitering area, and the BBC marker retreats 3 spaces. Finally, the escorts group faces Air Group 9. The roll is a 7, so the escorts group has no effect over the air group. The escorts group is then returned to the tug repair and logistic loitering area. The Argentine forces determine air sector E, the closest to Stanley, to be their target air sector. A die roll of 4 determines Air Group 3 will have priority to deploy its aircraft from Santa Cruz. 3 random aircraft from Air Group 3 are deployed into Air Sector D. A Superintendent, a Mirage 3, and an A4 Skyhawk. 3 random aircraft from Air Group 9 are deployed into Air Sector E. 2 Mirage 5 Daggers, and an A4 Skyhawk. 3 random aircraft from Air Group 2 are also deployed into Air Sector E. A Mirage 3, a Dagger, and a Canberra Bomber. 3 random aircraft from Air Group 10 are deployed into Air Sector B, all of them A4 Skyhawks. Finally, 3 random aircraft from Air Group 4 are deployed into Air Sector C. 1 Dagger, and 2 Skyhawks. Now, at the start of the game, there are some Argentine ground forces I totally forgot to place before, so let's do that. One of them goes into the Cerro Montevideo camp, near the San Carlos landing zone. One goes into Douglas Station. Another one at the Top Marlow House camp. One onto Fitzroy. And the last one, to the south, at Goose Green. Now, it's time for our Harrier screen to avert these attacks. We have 7 Harrier air units from the HMS Hermes carrier, and 5 more Harrier air units from the smaller HMS Invincible. Assigning these aircraft can be quite a puzzle, but for the purpose of this demonstration, we'll keep it simple. All the HMS Invincible Air Group will try to clear Air Sector B, and cut the enemy's retreat. While a larger, HMS Hermes Air Group, will go straight for the air zone, targeted by the enemy. Now, the roll of a die, determines the aggressive Argentine Air Force plan, has more strategic influence this turn. Meaning all active aircraft, with a roundel, are directed to the target air zone. Adding 3 more planes, against the Hermes Air Group. During the air battle procedures, both sides, will call for support from their ground units. At Air Sector B, the Argentine forces, have plenty of ground units, so they receive the highest support level. On the contrary, the HMS Invincible Air Group Harriers, are all by themselves, so they receive no ground support bonus. Since both British and Argentine aces are engaged in combat over Stanley, they cannot join the battle over Air Sector B. With 5 level 7 Harriers in the area, and no ground support, the Harriers' attack power amounts to 35 strength points. With 3 level 6 Skyhawks in the area, and a +5 ground support bonus, the Argentine defenders' power amounts to 23 strength points. Having the attacker 152% of the defender's strength, a roll of 5, results in the defenders breaking off, and the attackers in pursuit. The 3 Argentine Skyhawks retreat west, into Air Sector A. 4 of the 5 Harriers pursue them onto Air Sector A, only one of them remains, to establish air superiority, at Air Sector B. A new air battle ensues, now with no ground support of any kind. The 4 attacking Harriers add up to 28 strength points, against the 3 defending Skyhawks, with 18 strength points. At 155% odds, a die roll of 1, results in an unexpected dogfight. The Harriers are now defending against the Skyhawks. Another poor die roll of 1, on even odds, results in the Skyhawk attackers being eliminated. The 3 bold Skyhawks are placed in the Argentine repair pool. Meanwhile, a massive air battle is about to begin over Stanley. British ace pilot Ward joins the fight. With plenty of troops in Stanley, Argentine air forces receive a maximum ground support bonus. British Harriers, on the other hand, are on their own. The power of the attackers add up to 56 strength points, while the defenders combined amount to 53 strength points themselves. At 105% odds, a die roll of 5 results in the defenders breaking off, leaving the attackers the chance to pursue. All Argentine aircraft retreat into Air Sector D, merging with the 2 aircraft already there. Having scored 3 hits on enemy planes, and controlling 3 out of 5 air sectors, the British choose not to pursue, and risk a major battle, with unfavorable odds. Due to the rainy and snowy weather, one of the damaged Argentine aircraft will not be repaired and available for next turn. The others are flipped face down, and return to the pool, in the Argentine mainland. Hermes and Invincible Air Groups return to the total exclusion zone area of the strategic map. And so do the carriers and escorts. Now, on to the news headlines. What is happening back home? A die roll of 6, on turn 1, results in a 7. For once, the Kiwi Prime Minister is sending supplies and aid, so BBC marker advances 3 spaces. But things are not settled between Hague and Kirkpatrick, back in the US, so BBC marker retreats 1 space. And Chile is threatening to intervene, so 3 Roundel aircraft will be unavailable. And this is why you do headlines before resetting. You remember that for next turn. UN insists on a peace plan, so the diplomacy marker is placed in next turn on the track. Otherwise, BBC would have been mad at us. Finally, the sneaky Argentine submarine San Luis is threatening the carriers, so HMS Invincible won't be available next turn, and that sums it up. That was the first turn of Mrs. Thatcher's War, the Falklands 1982, designed by Ben Madison. The game also includes a whole new level of play, once you set troops on the ground. This is just so you get the feel of how the air campaign works. Hope you enjoyed the playthrough, and subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching. See you next time.